Well, hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. I'm Corny Swiss, and this is one of my very first games of 1.51. It's finally out. I guess we took all the hints from all the dev blogs and the server maintenance. It's always a giveaway. But I'm driving the M47 on the new Finland map, and in this was actually the first time I got to go to a different section of the map, kind of. I hadn't really been over here very much. I certainly didn't get to try it in the on the dev server. Also, there's a lot of nice little features that have come in. I don't know. Initially, I didn't like the new ragdoll in the lower left, but I think they made it bigger and added some information, so it actually looks pretty good now. I actually like that a lot. And also the ability to ping the map. Holy shit. That's made literally a night and day difference for me. Now there's so much more teamwork that's possible. It's so much easier to communicate to your allies, like, hey, there's a guy right there, you know, there's a guy here, don't drive over there, shoot him, you know. Oh, I felt dirty on this one. You know, but that's the M47's heat shell. The two tanks I'm probably most excited for, are the Leopard 1 and the M60. Now the Leopard 1 review is going to be the first. I'm going to do the Leopard 1 review first. Then I think I'm going to do the M60, and I'm saving kind of the T10 for last. And the reason I'm doing that is the T10, it's cool, but it's kind of more the same. It's a faster, heavy tank. I think the real difference makers in this patch are going to be the M60 and the Leo 1. I think the Leo 1 is going to be the biggest changer, or game changer, in this patch. Now, something I have noticed, the hitboxes for some of the terrain seem to be a little large, but that also just might be, I don't know. It seems on other maps you can get away with shots like that, but on this one you kind of can't. And I take a hit there, which is unfortunate, but early on I was aiming for like turret faces and things like that. With this tank and that heat shell, just aim for the hull. I mean, eventually I'm going to figure it out. But I'm basically filling the role of fire support in this game. But I wanted to take this replay because this was the most extensive time I got on this side of the map. And, you know, it's defensive. It's really supporting fire with a purpose. I'm using a lot of the weird features of the terrain to try and cover my tank and have like weird positions so I can get shots in at enemies. Because the German team in this game are going to sit on that ridge. It's just, that's what their guns are suited for, and we already have the cap pretty aggressively. So, and from one side to the other, Finland's not a huge map. At least in this sort of area of conflict, from the ridge we're on to their ridge isn't that far. So, pretty easy to kind of snipe out targets at this range. There's all kinds of guys over there. See, I'm still aiming for turret faces, which, you know, is what you do with like an AP shell. But, it's not really what you do with this shell. It's a Panther 2, he's already been knocked out, but in War Thunder especially, if a tank if you can't tell if it's been knocked out or not, just shoot it anyway. You know, shoot it, maybe hit it with some machine gun. A lot of times you'll get a hit marker from that, and if you don't get hit markers, then it's likely he's dead. There we go, right through the front of the hull. That's what we needed. That's what we needed from that first shell. But my early thoughts on Finland, it's an interesting map. It has a lot of long corridors where lots of long-range guns can be effective. But it does have terrain features that allow like maybe smaller tanks, quicker tanks to take advantage of all kinds of like little dips and stuff. And I think the cap placement, for the most part, is pretty decent. In the break game mode, I actually think it's okay, because one cap zone is on one ridge, the other cap zone's on the other side, so there's not really clear like sniping lanes into them. At least not from what I've seen. There are some, but to me, it just seems like there's just more avenues to play tanks kind of the way they're supposed to be played. So I don't know. I like the map. I think it's fine. It's cool to see a winter map like this. It's really cool to see features like snow being thrown on top of our tanks and all kinds of stuff like that. I'm pretty down with that. Because I've said it before, one of my favorite features about War Thunder is that as you drive around, your tank gets dirty and muddy, you know, and if you jump in a river, you clean it off a bit. You know, I think that's pretty cool. Here goes this horizontal drive. A little bit lower, that might have been ammo rack, but whatever. So yeah, I don't really have an initial... I'm not really ready to say like, oh, this is a great patch, oh, this is a bad patch, or anywhere in the middle, just because I kind of need to... I've really only been playing the very highest tiers, and from what I've seen, Russian teams don't have it that easy right now, at least from what I've seen. The Leo 1 is making a difference, in my opinion. The M60, I think it's a little bit overshadowed because, quite frankly, I think the M60 fills the same role as the Leo 1, and I think the Leo 1 might do it a little better. I haven't really been able to gather a sample size large enough to make that claim. But once I get a chance to play both of them and kind of see the perspective from either side, I think I'll be able to make an educated opinion about which tank, I guess, fills the role better. Because the role that was missing was the kind of flank support, you know, speed, covering the flanks of the bigger, heavier tanks like the Mouse. The Leo 1 does that really, really well. You know, it can get on the flanks quickly, and it can adjust to changing situations and get places quickly. That's something German teams just haven't really had, not to that degree. So it's a really good change of pace, and I think rank 5 might become pretty competitive. And the reason I say that is the tactics you could use before, where IS-3s would sit out in the middle, you know, sit with their, you know, hull angled so that their Shuka is no longer as effective. You can't do that anymore. There's too many heat shells flying around. Everyone can penetrate everybody. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Corny Swiss, and I'll see you next time.